We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We slaying witches and demons, making a list like I'm Steven. This ain't the Garden of Eden, playing this game, it's not even. I come with soldiers and legions, that is my name that you speaking. All of y'all live for the weekend, I don't know what you believe in. Y'all got the diamonds and I got the rubies. She rocking the two-piece and look like a snack. Stay out of trouble, but I got a new scheme. I'm sipping on wine while they sipping on that. I done told y'all if I see it, I cop it. You see what we rocking, we dripping all black. You being off, you seen this deposit. We brought a few bags and there's more in the back. I got riches storing up in heaven. I'm a big gorilla, I got ape aggression. Young and jaded like an adolescent. I'm slightly faded like an evanescent. Brand new villa up on the East Coast. You better come through because we stay progressing. If you roll with us, you better unpack before God teaches you an eternal lesson. Roll with me, you gonna learn something. Roll with me, you gonna earn some. We in the forest like we Fern Gully. If it's feeling off, I discern some. Clean hearts, but we stay muddy. Too smart, but we stay steady. Stank face, cause we too ugly. All these jokers think they too funny. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect him, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack.
Yo, 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 what up, ya boosh? Everybody loves to make some sick fucking gains.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Ah, the basson.
Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Oh. Testing, testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1090 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and as a slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What is going on? Yaz Beaches, welcome to episode 1090. Thanks for joining me live on Instagram, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, and the Twitch. And of course, those of you that are listening later and slamming your ear holes with some knowledge cock over on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, Pocket Cast, Gamecast, Swolecast, whatever app you listen to the Daily Swole on, you can catch them all everywhere. Daddy is everywhere. The Papa is everywhere. So I'm pouring some extra coffee. Why don't we get this show started? Tell me what's up. Of course, when I start. Only when I start. It's nice and quiet. It's nice and chill outside. It's really cool. And all of a sudden, I turn off and everything. I go live and they start fucking digging up the world. They're going to China now. They're redoing the golf course, but now they're just like digging to another fucking country. It's actually cool watching it all come together, putting in the irrigation they're doing. I've never seen a golf course be created. It's savage. And what's crazy in Florida is that it's all dirt right now, and you know that all of a sudden in a week I'll look out the window and it'll be green. They'll just have it done. That's the thing about Florida. You never have to take any time off. You can build all year round, and that's all they do. That's all they do here. They build and they rebuild and they rebuild and they rebuild. And then they rebuild it again and they build it again. And then once they build it, they got to go back and they got to build it again. They got to just keep on doing it over and over and over. I did chest and triceps ignite for week 6. Very solid. What are you training today? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you watching from? Where are you listening from? Do I ever golf? No, I don't golf. I have no interest for it. I've gone to Top Golf and I hit the ball a little bit and then I leave, and that's plenty fine for me. But no, I don't golf. I don't wander in an artificial world of pesticides. Nah, I'm fucking with you. That was like Johnny Raincloud comment. Pesticides everywhere, which is true, but no, not been my thing. Not been my thing. Never got into it. Never got into it. Lying on a tennis ball trying to release my shoulder pain. Good move. Good move. That tennis ball game. I was just watching episode 853. Oof, you catching up. You're catching up. Got some throwbacks there. Bobby Reiner, what's up? Swole did some nasty cardio today. Nasty cardio. Nardio. You did some nardio. 12% incline walk at 2 miles per hour while holding 25-pound dumbbells. Well, why? Why were you holding dumbbells? I always find that interesting. That's like putting yourself at risk. You need your hands in case you slip and fall. That's why that's why the railings are there, so you can hold on to them. 25. Get a weight vest, bro. Get a weight vest. You don't want to be holding that shit. Do it outside. I know, not everyone can. You're watching, this is a good episode for you. This is a good episode for you, Bobby. It's like, what are you watching? Whose Instagram channel are you watching? There's one that I saw. Actually, I have a video that I did on it. It's like one of these ridiculous, look, the guy's in shape. He's not big. He's just like kind of skinny, like lean. But he's the kind of guy that will climb a rope and then do a deadlift and then jump on a box with a Bosu ball on and then try to do a muscle up and goes through this fucking circuit. And what the fuck are you doing, bro? What the fuck are you doing? That is what this episode is about today, risk versus reward. If you've been on the internet for at least a couple of weeks, you've seen some stupid shit. If you've typed in any kind of fitness hashtag or you follow any kind of fitness accounts, you've seen some dumb shit. It's not about the regular exercise. I'm not even talking about people that are loading up a bar and going super heavy. That's been happening for decades. People that are lifting too heavy, people that are like falling under the bar, those gym fails. But more so than ever, and I talked about this during my Bradley Martin video on YouTube about a week or so ago. And as I mentioned in the video, it was nothing against him. It's just about people copying and looking at these types of actions and people that are getting views, that are trying to get views, that are doing things in order to get attention. You're doing exercises in order to get a lot of views because holy shit, it's impressive. You're squatting or front squatting with a girl standing on your shoulders and it looks very, whoa, Cirque du Soleil. But someone's going to try to copy it. Someone's going to try to one up that. Someone's going to try to do something along those lines to get attention. People have been trying to get attention. Kids have been trying to get attention for decades. What do you do when you're a kid, when you're in school, when you're in elementary school or middle school? You do things to show off. You do stupid shit to get guys to like you or girls to like you. You do things in order to show your prowess. Like, you're not afraid. You're tough. You can do it. And you try and you do that to get friends, right? You have a lot of those things that happen when you're younger in order to try to make your mark on your little clique of friends. And most people go through stuff like that, but now we're seeing this in adult fashion. People are trying to get attention. Hey, look at me, I'm over here. Hey, look at me. Everyone's connected in one place. So Instagram, for example, Instagram's the most prevalent, I think, even more than YouTube. YouTube's been around longer, but Instagram is the most prevalent when it comes to this shit because very short little snippets. You don't have to do anything crazy for too long. It could be 10 seconds. It could be a picture. It could be a minute. You can keep it really short and kind of give a little blurb. YouTube is a little bit more, long form in general. So Instagram is kind of like the playground. Instagram is where everyone, but it's all people of all ages, of all races, sexes, backgrounds. It's just Instagram is the playground and everyone's playing on the same spot. So adults, it brings adults back. It brings grown ass men and women back to this, give me attention, give me attention, give me attention. And it's weird because classically that was mostly, people always like attention, but that was mostly something that happened when you were younger. You're like, look at me, hey, look at me, hey, look at me. You get older and you realize, oh shit, life doesn't give a fuck. No one gives a fuck. I got to get to work. I got to do stuff. And then you put your head down, you have a family, you do other types of things, and you don't worry so much about look at me. But now everyone wants that. Everyone wants to look at me, no matter what age you are, whether you're 50 or whether you're 15, everyone wants that attention. So what are people willing to do? What are people willing to do for fitness? We see what they're trying to do for just stunts. People are always trying to do stunts. People are always trying to stand on a ledge or hang from a cliff and do all these crazy fucking things. Those are those ludicrous thrill seeker people. But we're seeing this a lot in fitness. We're seeing this a lot in just general exercise and things that people are doing that are extremely high risk, that are putting other people at risk because they have big follower bases, big fan bases. And when I made this video last week or so, that's what it's addressing. It's addressing the mentality that everyone's got to one-up someone else. Everyone has to take it to the next level. Everyone sees that. And whether or not you want to do what these people are doing, just because you see something crazy online, it doesn't mean that you psychologically, you consciously think, okay, I am going to copy this person. You're not necessarily thinking that, nor do you look at that and say, man, I wish I could do that. I want to do exactly that. You're not necessarily thinking that either. However, it ingrains in your brain, and when next time you post something, you're less likely to post. How many of you have thought about making a YouTube channel? How many of you have thought about posting more or creating an Instagram account around something that you're passionate about? How many of you have thought about doing that? Let's talk about fitness, for example, or how many of you have thought about sharing your videos or your story, do a vlog on YouTube or something like that? You've thought about it. You haven't because you think, oh, well, so many people do that already. Oh, everyone's done that. Most people don't do it because they think, oh, so many people have done that. Let me give you a piece of advice. No one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck. Like, there's enough to go around. If I thought the same thing a few years ago, I never would have. If I thought the same thing, and I did think the same thing, I thought, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to start talking about fitness. I'm going to start talking about exercise. I'm going to start doing like exercise demos. I'm going to do a fitness video. There's so much of that already. And this was 2015, 2016. And I've done fitness. I posted stuff before, but I didn't create Swolenormous. I didn't do all that stuff. If I thought that and I actually held on to that feeling, if I actually held on to that, I wouldn't have started. And obviously, if I didn't start, then we wouldn't be where we are today. You wouldn't have found my content. I wouldn't have been doing this. I would have been doing a podcast. I wouldn't have done any of this. And I didn't plan all this when I started. I didn't start and think, oh, I'm going to do this podcast. Oh, I started doing live, but a lot of these things that I'm doing now evolved over the course of the last few years, and I'm in a different place and I have a different direction, and things are organized differently than they were when I started. When I started, I just started making videos, and I found my own voice. I found my own approach. I found my own style of filming, and I just kept on doing stuff, and I still keep on doing stuff, and I keep on trying different things, and I will never stop because that's what the game is. It's just trying different things and going and moving and doing stuff and being consistent. It's just like fitness. It's just like training. But what if I didn't do it? What if I never put anything out there and figured there's so much out there already? What do I have to add? You have you to add. So don't let it hold you back. But people are looking at these accounts, bringing it back to the main topic. Most people are looking at these accounts and thinking, I can't do that. I'm not going to post anything. I can't. My camera doesn't look as good as that, or my editing doesn't look as good as that, or my muscles don't look as big as his or hers, or my butt's not as big as hers, or okay. I mean, no one looks like anyone else. No one looks like anyone else. No one is the same. Like fucking for real, no one is the same with anything. No one's face is the same. No one's muscles are the same. No one, unless you're an identical twin, no one else, and that, you're not the same. It's two different people. You might look the same, but you're still two different people. You're two different people. You could have identical twins and they have different personalities, right? So everyone's different. 7 billion people, 7.5, whatever it is. Everyone is fucking different. So as much as there's a lot of people that talk about fitness and do fitness content, the way I look at it, for whatever you want to do, there's so many people in the world and there's so much access to any different topic and every different passion. You have the ability to break through that noise. Because there's a lot of people doing it, I think it's actually easier to get attention. I think it's actually easier to create quality content. I think it's actually easier to do it because there's so much fluff and there's so much of that white noise. There's so much of that droning. It's all the same fucking thing. I tease those Gymshark, Lululemon, pastel, green and blue fitness chicks, and all their profiles fucking look the same, right? They all do the same videos, the same carousel images and video workout. They all do the same fucking thing. They all have the same shit. They all do the same fucking stuff. The same goddamn shit. Their profiles look exactly the same. Well, that might seem good in the short term, but in the long term, it's terrible for them. It's a terrible decision to not define yourself. It's a terrible idea to just latch yourself on. It's a quick fix. It's a quick fix. You're going for the short-term gains. You're going for the short term. You're going for the short-term career. You're going for the short-term result. You're not building anything yourself. You're just latching on to some other identity. And that's what people can fall into. And that's what people tend to do when they try to copy these extreme exercises. They fall into this view hungry, I'm trying to get as much attention as possible mentality. And it's not like they're consciously trying to hurt themselves, but subconsciously, and when they create content, they think they always have to one-up someone else. You always have to one-up someone else. And that's when you compare yourself to other people. It's the same thing with your physique. It's the same thing with money. It's with career, with anything. I could look at other people's podcasts and think, fuck, their podcasts have so many more downloads than mine. There's always going to be someone that has more downloads. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. I'm thankful for every single one. It doesn't mean anything. Like, there's always going to be someone who's bigger. There's always going to be someone who's more ripped. There's always someone who could do a bigger backflip or more backflips in a row. There's always, you're not going to be good at everything. No matter what, you're not going to be good at everything. And you're not going to be passionate enough to pursue each individual thing to excel at it. You're not going to be amazing at gymnastics and amazing at strength training and amazing at endurance training and amazing at rock climbing and amazing at cycling. And no, there's only so much time in your life. There's only so much time in a day. So my recommendation is you have to focus on your strengths. You have to focus on what you're good at and make sure you put the time into that and what you enjoy. And that's just a benefit. That's just a bonus. When it comes to fitness, if you enjoy it, that's great. Fitness is work. Fitness is hard work. And you have to be consistent as fuck when you do it. But if you enjoy it, that's fine. And if you're enjoying what you're doing and you enjoy the style of training that you do and it's giving you the results and it's the type of training that will get you the results that you want, you're just like layering on the benefits. That's just awesome. You love cycling. You love getting more endurance. You combine that with yoga so it doesn't fuck up your posture completely because cycling's a horrific position for the body. You know, you're balancing it out. You enjoy it. You enjoy being outside. That's great. You understand you're not going to be the biggest fucking guy in the world if you're only doing cycling and that's your passion, but you're okay with it because you enjoy it so much. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. You still got to do what you do. But just know that you're not one-upping anyone else. You're not comparing yourself to other people. And the risk versus reward is very important to understand. It's not about how much weight you can lift. It's important to have strength. That's where we kind of differ because we see so much content with people benching 2 plates on each side and then 3 plates. And you see these younger guys, in their 20s, early 20s, and they're squatting 4 plates on each side or 5 plates. Like, how the fuck are they doing that? Who cares? Who cares if the plates are real, if they're not real? They've been lifting for a bunch of years. Who knows what they're taking? Who knows what some people are just naturally stronger than other people. Some people have different limb lengths that allow them to squat more or deadlift more, depending on their form. How deep are they going? Are they doing a sumo deadlift, which is easier? You can go heavier with a sumo than you can with a conventional. Like, there's all these different styles and subtleties with an individual that might make certain things kind of pop more. Some people are strong, so guess what they're going to post on their Instagram? They're going to post pictures of them lifting a lot of weight. Does that make sense? If someone is strong, they're going to post things on Instagram of them lifting heavy things, if that's their strength. If they're really great at endurance, they're going to post things about their endurance. If they have abs, they're going to be posting pictures and stuff about their abs all the time. If they have, genetically gifted glutes, and of course they probably work hard at them too, fine. But obviously, if you have good genetics and you're training your glutes hard, then you just have the perfect storm. And then you're going to be doing a lot of videos about your glutes and the same shit. You're going to be posting about your strengths. So when you're looking at an Instagram profile specifically, what you're looking at is a highlight reel of someone's strengths. You're looking at a highlight reel of what that person is good at. I don't post picture of me doing like wine tastings. I don't post videos and content about me talking about makeup. Like, that's not my strength. I don't know much about either of those things, so I don't post about them. I post about fitness. I know about fitness. I know about my experiences with fitness, my education in fitness, right? There's things that I'm good at and there are things that I'm not good at, and everyone is the same way. And when you look at Instagram, you see a lot of high risk, but what's the reward for you taking that information? What's the reward for that person putting it out there? And what's the risk involved? There are a lot of people that are just posting these highlight reels. Like I said, they're posting on their strengths, and a lot of this stuff in fitness specifically is very, very high risk, and it's to get attention. It's trying to reach as many people so people can get the views, they can get sponsorships, they can promote X, Y, and Z. It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. And it is also a business thing, because if you have more attention, a bigger audience, you can promote products, sponsorships, discount codes, whatever it is. Everyone's going to be different. But when you're looking at that, understand that people are putting themselves at risk. And especially when you're doing these like plyometric calisthenic exercises that have no rhyme or reason smashed together, they're just giving people terrible ideas. So a lot of these videos I watch, the person actually almost gets hurt, and I catch it. If you're a fitness pro, you'll catch these periods and these points where like, oh shit, that person almost fucking bit metal, and to the point where like they can fucking die. And if the average person even remotely attempts to copy this, they'll blow out their fucking ACL or they'll hurt themselves. And everyone needs to start staying in their own lane, right? These apparel companies, they're not fitness companies. You have to stay in your own fucking lane. I don't care if you have a sponsorship and you sponsor people that lift weights. You got to stay in your own fucking lane, because a lot of these apparel companies post pictures and things of people doing dumb fucking shit because they're trying to sell clothes. They're trying to sell pants or leggings or shirts. They're trying to sell shit. They don't know the first fucking thing about fitness. And a lot of these lines are getting crossed in the fitness industry. A lot of these lines are getting crossed. You have people taking anabolics that promote supplements. They promote clothing, and then people see that clothing. And then, it's this misconception of the misconception of what is really possible. You're seeing photoshopped pictures. You're seeing tinted and color graded videos. You're seeing all these things that go through filters and lenses, and they're portrayed in this gray area, this gray space of fitness that blurs the reality. Again, you're getting people that are taking drugs, that are promoting over-the-counter powders and pills. They're wearing clothes that a company sells. So you go to that company and you see this person that's taking illegal drugs, that's wearing the clothes. Oh, that looks really good. That person's ripped, and you buy that. And then you're trying to compare yourself to someone who's taking anabolic steroids, but the clothing company isn't saying, hey, this person's taking juice, so he's taking juice and wearing our clothes. He looks really good, but here, buy this shirt. It's not said, and I'm not saying it has to be talked about in terms of like the actual clothing advertisement, but it's a very gray area of everyone promoting things, and there's no transparency and there's no context as to why this person is doing what they're doing, why they look the way they look. And a lot of the things that are being promoted that are making money off of these advertisements and videos, it's just, there are a lot of things that are swept under the rug and not discussed, but a lot of money is being passed around. and a lot of hopes and dreams are kind of staying there. This idea that this stuff is fucking possible. The majority of the shit that you see online, and it's not being Johnny Raincloud, it's not, well, that person's bigger than me, they must be taking something. When you're training naturally and hard for 20 fucking years and you know what is possible, you are a fitness professional, you've trained hundreds of people, you've seen people on juice, you know what's possible, you know what's not possible, you start picking this shit out. You don't have to be massive to be taking something anabolic or growth hormone or SARMs or something like Anavar, which is very low level. Like women, I mean, it makes a big difference. A small amount makes a massive difference. And it's very hard for the untrained eye to pick it up. And even for the trained eye, sometimes you can get it wrong. There are these subtle, you don't know, but one thing that we do know is that people don't fucking talk about it openly. And it's illegal. So guess what happens? People don't talk about it. All right? You start implementing drug testing in the NFL. Oh, no one's taking stuff anymore. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, there's drug testing in Major League Baseball. No one's taking stuff anymore. Get the fuck out of here. No, there's drug testing in the Olympics. Get the fuck out of here. People are taking shit on every level. Oh, they drug test in the UFC and all. Get the fuck out of here. People are going to take and cut corners and take something that's redesigned, cycle it shorter. People are going to keep on fucking doing it until they finally, if ever, legalize it and boom, boom, boom. Everyone's going to be skirting the issue. That's never going to fucking change. If there's a rule, people are breaking them. That's why there's a fucking rule in place, because otherwise people would do it openly. But if they make a rule, hey, people are just going to go around that rule and find loopholes and ways that they can get around it. That's always going to fucking happen. Thomas, Anavar is very popular in the CrossFit community. A lot of stuff is popular in the CrossFit community, for sure. Everyone's thinking that these people are just fucking natural at the competitions. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. All fucking natural. You are living under a rock. You're living under a rock. Here, I have a bridge I can sell you. You know, there's so many different things that you can cloak. And not everything makes you big and bulky and slow. When you're doing CrossFit, you need endurance. You need to be more slender. You don't want to be bulky and stiff. You need range of motion. I mean, there's just so much, there's so many things, and there's different quantities, right? So bringing this ship back home, the risk versus reward. When you're watching and when you're looking at these accounts, make sure that you keep it contextual. It's entertainment. Remember that people are posting on their strengths. If you're not a strong person, you're not going to post your maxes because there's nothing impressive. You're not going to get the views. You're not going to get the attention. You're not going to get the follows. Like, people are posting things. The intention and the purpose of people that post things online, 99 times out of 100, it's to get more likes. It's to get more views. Okay. For me, when I post stuff, that's a component, and I use likes and views as a measurement, one of the metrics of how people respond. Do people like this post? Do people engage with it? Do people like this style of content? If it doesn't do well, or I don't get any positive feedback or comments, not as much, I didn't do something right. I'm not attracting enough attention. I'm not doing something with, whether it's the Instagram algorithm or just people aren't responding to it. But a lot of times what's amazing, and that's why I post so many different things, and I post all the time, different ways, different styles for some things that don't get a lot of front facing views and likes. I'll get for whatever reason, I'll get 10 DMs. Yo, bro, this post was fucking amazing. It changed my entire perspective on today, and it made so like it doesn't, the views, it also doesn't matter, because what matters is the impact it has on one person, let alone 1,000 people or 10,000 or 100,000 or 1,000,000. So for every post that on the front facing surface doesn't do well, what I always find impressive and interesting is that's when I get private messages that talk about that post or that video that really helped. So all bets are off when it comes to stuff. I never try to assume what people will or won't like. I just do different things. But most people, you know, I mean, that's always part of it. You want it to get views. You want it to get attention. If no one sees it, then it didn't work. No one's going to get the benefit of the content if no one sees it. But when you're making content in order to maximize your views and maximize your attention, you will go to lengths and you will go to points of fitness and physical feats. You'll go beyond what you would do off camera. So you're seeing people do things for the gram. That's one of the famous quotes, right? Doing it for the gram. A lot of people do things for the gram. People go to places, to concerts, to Coachella. They'll go to places for Instagram. They will go for Instagram. They'll go to places because they'll think, oh, I'll get some good pictures. They will go and do things and go out and go to a bar or do something for fucking Instagram. And if people are doing that, imagine what they're doing in the gym. How much weight are they lifting? Are they throwing on an extra plate just for Instagram? Are they going to get hurt? Are they balancing? Are they balancing on a kettlebell? Are they balancing on a Smith machine? Are they doing something where they're doing a pull-up on a machine and there's no pull-up bar? They're just using like the top like rung of the machine and they're doing some kind of like cool pull-up or muscle up. Like, oh wow, that's so badass, that's so creative. Is it? Or are they gonna cut their finger on the top of the fucking machine? Or are they gonna slip off and smash their head on the ground? You know, since Instagram really kind of hit maturity, what I see in the gym is beyond the most random shit. Like, I see people using pieces of equipment and I step back and I look at that and I'm like, what the fuck is that person doing? How did they even come up with that concept? How'd they even come up with that movement? How'd they even come up with that exercise with that piece of equipment? It never would have even crossed my mind if you told me, hey, go play around for 10, 15 minutes and just do every ridiculous thing you could possibly think of on this piece of equipment. That could be construed for a real exercise. And I still wouldn't have come up with some of the shit that I see. And that's me. And I see people doing ridiculous shit. And it's bad. It's bad because I know they're seeing it somewhere. A lot of these things you can't make up. You can't fucking make up because it's just not what it's designed for. Like a chest press machine and people are doing like one arm rows. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, why would you do that? It's not anywhere near necessary. I see some weird shit. People doing stupid fucking exercise on a preacher curl machine. They're doing like some kind of like weird lunge press on a preacher curl machine. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What you doing, bro? Hey, bro, what are you doing? What you doing over there, guy? Hey, guy. Anyway, there's a lot of risk in the gym as it is. There's a lot of risk in the gym just doing normal shit. So be very careful when you're looking at all this dumb stuff you see fucking online. There's enough risk lifting weights. There's enough risk as is putting yourself under a heavy load. That's what she said. There's enough risk. You do not need to add plyometrics and jumping and flipping and all these different little circuits that are going to exhaust you, fuck up your form, and don't do it just because some jabroni that's verified on Instagram does it. Or they have 100,000 followers. They must be knowing. No, it doesn't mean they know what they're fucking doing. You know how you can tell? Because look at what they're fucking doing. Look what they're doing. They're doing random shit. Most of the stuff is just random shit for a clip. It's after their workout and they just did a little bit of a clip. Hey, let's do this circuit. That'd be a good one. Okay, cool. We'll do all this crazy shit. And then it's impressive. They get their views and they move on. Yeah. What the fuck is Coachella? Some music festival in California. John, I was told crazy huge shoulders and traps is an indicator of juice because of higher androgen receptors in that area of the body. Yeah, if you're like, you can tell when people sauce, their shoulders like jut out like a point, like their middle deltoid. And a lot of times their posterior deltoid looks like a fucking, like a triangle. Like it's very, very pronounced, like extremely artificial. You can tell it's kind of like, it has this like weird shape to it. A lot of times it's very excessively overdeveloped. You'll see a lot of people that don't have good physiques that take juice and just do too much shoulder work. And you'll see how they like their shoulders don't fit their body. That's very common. Super common when it comes to anabolics. Rebecca, I saw guys yesterday holding each other's legs so they can do push-ups on the bars for dips. Yeah, that's pretty stupid. Yeah, see, there you go. That's some dumb shit right there. Let's see. If your views are diving, then you'll do bullshit to get it back on top. A lot of people do. Well, a lot of people will sell their soul. They'll do whatever it takes to get views. Unfortunately, but you'll see that a lot in the fitness industry. Even people that have big followings, they keep that momentum, and that's where people can get stuck. They keep that momentum, and they've done it before. So what are they going to do next? That's going to be, wow, cool, or oh, bro, you've done better, or oh, you've done that before. Everyone's like one-upping themselves. They're comparing themselves to other people, and they're also trying to one-up their own jabroniism. I don't know if you mentioned it at some point. I'm aware you discourage people from taking pre-workout. I discourage people from taking most bodybuilding style supplements. You can make your own though. Is there any instance in where you justify it? It gets people to the gym. Like there's nothing bad about it in the terms of like, is it going to kill you? I mean, there's a lot of stimulants in it. There's tons of caffeine, which you can get from black coffee or espresso or something like that. It just has tons and tons of fillers. If you want to take those active ingredients, I recommend making it yourself. I recommend getting a micro scale, buying the raw ingredients, and scooping them in. You don't need all that extra filler. I don't think those active ingredients are going to harm you. But there's also not long-term, side effects or studies done on longitudinal stuff like citrulline malate or beta-alanine, but those things are usually underdosed in pre-workouts anyway. So most of what you're getting when you buy a pre-workout are filler and caffeine and other types of like CNS stimulants. And people misinterpret that for like amazing results. Like, wow, I got a great pump, or like I thought I went crazy in the gym. It's like, well, you fucking took 300 milligrams of caffeine. Of course you went ham at the gym. You just drank like 6 cups of coffee and went to fucking work out. Of course you felt amazing. Of course you did. So if you're going to do it, at least make your own so you're not sucking down tons of garbage. Not to mention when you buy something off the shelf, you don't necessarily know if they are putting in everything that they say they do. There's very, very loose and weak regulation. And also a lot of times these pre-workout or these companies spike their supplements. They put illegal substances in them, or they put extra in them so people take it and be like, wow, holy shit, this is awesome. And then they keep on buying it. And then over time, because of the regulations in terms of getting them scanned and checked out, they reformulate. They oftentimes come out with like another formula with the real stuff in it that's not spiked. So that's another way people feel like, hey, this pre-workout's not working as much anymore. But then for their approval, I think they have to submit samples to the, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they have to submit samples to the FDA or to some kind of governing body. And after about 5 or 6 months, they'll reformulate their product. So the submission process starts again, so they can spike it to get more customers up front. There's a lot of loopholes like that. I'm not an expert in that area because I don't create supplements myself, so I haven't gone through that whole back end of it. But it's like, it's very Wild West, and most of the studies are done on pro athletes with extreme amounts of these supplements. So doing 8 grams in a study, and then you buy a product with 1 gram in it, they might reference that study like, hey, this works. Well, yeah, maybe in professional cyclists, when they're given 8 grams twice a day, you're getting 1 gram before your workout that you do maybe a couple times a week. So you're not getting the benefit that this supplement says it's going to provide. They're just using a study and underdosing their product. And even if they do give you the right dose, your environment is not a vacuum like this scientific study was. What were you eating? When did you take it? Is that even beneficial in a strength training session, or is it more for endurance, like long term? It's just, there's a lot of stuff that's not really discussed openly. And there's a lot of stuff that's not really addressed because it's a huge business. So why would they address it? And there's so much confusion, and the average person's not an organic chemist. The average person doesn't understand chemistry. It's complicated shit. So to really understand what actually gets through, what doesn't get destroyed by your stomach acids, what actually makes it into your bloodstream, what actually makes it into your body, what actually the outcome is, you can't measure it. You can't measure it. What if it's a placebo effect? You take it, it doesn't do shit, but you think it does, and wow, this is great. That's your opinion on it. Doesn't mean that it does work. So are you spending your money in the right places? Are you spending money on supplements and then complaining that, hey, I'm not losing weight? Then you're not doing shit right. You know, if you're complaining about food being expensive or you're not eating properly and you're spending money on supplements, you're wasting your fucking money. How can I make my own? What do I need? Google it. Seeing as though this is risk versus reward and we're talking about dumb shit, what's your stance on CrossFit? I've talked about this a lot. I don't feel like going into it right now. It's high risk. It used to be hated, but seems to be viewed differently these days. I don't think it's viewed differently. I mean, things change and evolve because they used to do, it's more or less random exercise. When anything grows really fast, you have a lot of quantity, but the quality is shit. They would certify people over the weekend. I think they tightened up things now, but the damage has almost pretty much been done. You have a lot of people teaching things out there with fly-by-night certifications, teaching Olympic high-risk lifting, and people fucking got hurt. So is it the same quality as it was 10 years ago? I hope not. Things should get better. However, when you're opening up like these gyms, they call them boxes, all over the fucking world, and it just explodes really, really fast, people are just getting certified. They're making money hand over fist. They were charging a couple $1,000s for each certification. They would do 2 days and you get certified and boom, you could open up your fucking gym, pay them $5,000 or $10,000, use their name and open up a gym. So they're making tons of money and it grew really fast. And I think they changed their format, but I don't care. I don't care. I think if you're starting off with fitness, you should not be starting off with that shit. It's very specific. It's a very specific type of approach, and more often than not, it's random shit. It's high risk, and depends on what you want. If you want a community and you want to do a group exercise class but lift weights, that's a good option. It's group exercise, lifting weights. You could do CrossFit by yourself. You could do bodybuilding by yourself. You could do bodybuilding with a friend. You could get a gym lifting partner. Depends on what kind of environment you want. You know, there are some people that probably teach it really well. Obviously, some people are very successful with it. So do what you want. And it comes back to, I appreciate you valuing my opinion, but at the same time, who gives a shit what I think about CrossFit? I mean, if you like it, for example, if you're like, but I love CrossFit, cool, then do it. It's funny when people get offended or they defend it like, no, it's not bad. Okay, then do it. I'm not keeping you from doing your CrossFit. Like being a vegan, I'm not keeping you from being a vegan. You can argue and complain like, oh my God, yeah, but a vegan, all this research. Okay, then watch your documentaries and cut out all animal products if you want to. That's fine. We have vegans inside Swole X. I have vegan recipes in the kitchen section. I mean, I'm adding more all the time. Like, it's welcoming for everyone. I don't recommend it, but it doesn't mean that people aren't going to do it anyway. It doesn't mean that someone shouldn't do it necessarily. There are some people that it might actually be something that they will work better with. So I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm just sharing my experiences and my opinions. You're welcome, man. John O. McCarthy, my fiance and I are big fans from South Africa. Wow, represent across the pond. Do you have a business address so we can send you some of our local snacks? You'd have to send me a message. Local snacks from South Africa. That's intense. That's intense. I picture are they like lion bars? That's so, is that racist? Is that racist? I just think of Africa because I've never been. I just feel like there's just wild animals running around everywhere. No, of course, everyone thinks that you think of Africa, you think of safaris and stuff like that. I'm just fucking around. Lion bars. Anthrax incoming. Fuck that. Well, that's why I don't check my mailbox too frequently. I'm fucking around. Here's our hippopotamus protein powder. South Africa has cabanossi. I don't even know what that is. You see? You'd be sending me some random shit. May make some sick fucking gains. Rebecca, I used to take classes at my gym, but I've outgrown them. You got to know when it's time to take you to your next level. I just like training. Personally, I like training by myself because I don't like depending on anyone. I also like to do things at my pace. Thomas, I used to do CrossFit at a very good gym. It was good programming by the coaches. Well, see, you can do it better. But I think it's silly to say that CrossFit is for everyone because obviously it's not. Just like when people say vegan is for everyone. Well, it's obviously not because the vast majority of the entire world is not a vegan. So to say that that's right for everyone, that's silly too. It's silly to think that anything is for everyone because obviously there are so many different things out there for a reason. And we evolved this way and we're here right now all doing different things probably for a reason. There's probably a lot of different ways to get amazing results as there are. So which way is the best? People always like to swing a big dick and say that their way is the best. My religion is the best. My nutrition is the best. My training method is the best. Fuck your best. Who knows? Who knows? We use that word casually. The best. What's the best exercise? What's the best this? You can't answer that. That's subjective. You can't answer that. For some people, they might hate squats and see amazing results and they just don't like squats. Well, maybe they just have limb lengths that don't match up well for squats and it gives them back pain all the time, but they have amazing results by doing the Smith press or something. Okay, well, that's why there's a Smith press, because some people like it a lot. And there are certain recommendations for the average person, but at the same time, when you're starting out with your training, it's important to keep an open mind. It's important to do some of the basics. That's why I'm always promoting mobility and yoga. If you're starting off from that aspect, you'll learn more about your body, how it moves. And as you start with the basics and the fundamentals of training, you might find that you really love endurance style training. You love cardio based stuff. You love doing long distance and mud runs and Spartan races. And that's cool. You enjoy that. That's your entertainment. You enjoy doing it. Who's to tell you not to? Those things exist and you like to do that. What bothers me is when people get confused with their goals and they train differently than what they say they want. And they're frustrated with their results, but they're doing random fucking shit. It's like, well, what do you want? Do you want entertainment? Do you want to do stuff that you like? Or do you want the results that you say you want? And unfortunately, a lot of times people want something. People want something, but they don't like the work that goes into it. It's like tough shit. Tough shit. You want to get big muscles, but you don't want to lift heavy weights, but you don't want to go to the gym. You want to get big, but you're worried about you want to build muscle, but you're worried about going into the weight section at your gym. It's like, well, then you're not going to get big. Then you're not going to lift weights. Then you have to do certain things. If you want to get good at cycling, you have to get a fucking bike. You have to get your ass on a bike. You want to get good at swimming? Guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to get wet. So make sure that your goals are actually at the end of what you're doing for your training. Make sure that you work backwards. What do you want to happen with your physique? What do you want to look like? If you want to have a physique and have shape, you're going to have to do some bodybuilding components. You can't just do random shit and have big full shoulders and balanced posture. If you're doing just random exercise, you might get some results. Certain areas of your body might develop more than others, but if you're bodybuilding, you can address those weaker areas. You can address those weaker points. You can build those areas up. You can focus and do isolation exercises. You can do different things. And most people want a physique. Most people have a certain way they want to look, but they're doing random exercises, and that's not going to get you looking a certain way. That's why bodybuilding is specific. It's focused attention, focused exercise. It's focused overload on certain areas to develop and create proportion and create shape and create that type of size, density, proportionate to that area of the body so you don't look out of balance. And if you're doing random shit, certain areas will just develop more than others. You're not necessarily going to get targeted growth. And then you're going to be like, well, my stomach, I'm still trying to get rid of that extra belly fat. It's because you're not doing shit that's going to take care of that. You're just running around doing flips and throwing balls and using a sledgehammer, and that's not going to get you fucking abs. Like, what do you think is... You're going to do random shit to get specific results? That's ludicrous. Tom Mays, you see Weight Watchers says chicken is 0 points. Dude, I don't follow a fucking thing that Weight Watchers has done or has ever done. All I know is that they have points things, and I see sometimes meals at the store when I walk past the frozen aisle and it says Weight Watchers or something. I have no fucking idea anything that's going on with that company. Give a fuck about Weight Watchers. Fuck that shit. I don't even know what the points means. What? Bad food has more points? You want to keep it under a certain amount of points? I don't know what that means in context. Chicken is 0 points. What does that mean? It has 0 calories or something? Fucking Weight Watchers. I've wasted too much time in this episode already. God damn it, Tom. God damn it. I kind of enjoy being the weirdo at the gym doing single leg RDL to balance. Hey, you're getting good. That's a great exercise. 0 points means no calories? Get the fuck out of here. No, that's not what it means. It means you could eat. 0 points means no calories. Oh, I saw the video. I saw the thumbnail that Alan did. I didn't watch the video though. I saw that. I'm like, I don't. I didn't watch the video, but I'm sure I agree with everything he said in it. I don't even have to watch it. I'm sure I agree. I'm sure I agree with whatever he said. I'm sure I agree with him. We agree on most things. I'm sure I agree. It sounds stupid. It sounds dumb. That was the one that says there's no 0 calorie or no 0 point for food. I saw the title. I'll probably watch it today. Get the fuck out of here. These companies are ludicrous. Hey, dude, I'm a fan as of today. Love your stuff. I'm hooked. Finally, something genuine. Oh, thanks, man. I lost that. Love the uncensored content and the swearing and all the motivation. Thank you. You're fucking welcome, dude. You're fucking welcome. I love the swearing. Uncensored as fuh. What would you recommend with somebody with a C-section? I would recommend yoga. I'd recommend core stability. I'd recommend doing those types of intrinsic core exercises to strengthen and make sure that you're getting that support. Because if you cut through the muscle tissue, you might have, you're going to have some weakness, building that back up. So make sure you're doing things like planks and hip bridges, and you're doing your stabilization, strength training, as well as your yoga and stuff. Weight Watchers must be good. Look at Oprah. Really? I look at Oprah. Yeah. I don't know about looking. I've seen Oprah. Looking good never has ever crossed my mind when I see her. Just saying. And that's my opinion. I have 2 C-sections and still lift weights. I think she was just asking, what should she do? Yeah, the question on Instagram wasn't contextual, wasn't really detailed. Love Life Missy. So, I mean, I don't know what exactly you're asking for that, if I gave a good answer. It was a vague question. It was like, what do you recommend for someone with a C-section? I don't know. Don't get any more D-section. Get it? Don't get any more D-section. All right. Too soon? Har, har, har. Oh, Papa Swole, you're so funny. Stop being coy, Papa Swole. So let's see. Let's do some news. You can take a couple more questions as they come up. Let's say this week. So Sunday Fun Day coming up this Sunday. We'll have a Sunday Fun Day open Q&A. Tomorrow, today's Wednesday, tomorrow for Swolenormous X members, we have a masterclass. So it's a yoga and Swolga mobility masterclass. So we're going to talk about program design. We're going to talk about integrating yoga with your training program, and all things about the brand new Swolga section that is opening up. So the additional, so we're breaking out those Swolga classes into a separate section, and you'll get 1 or 2, maybe 3, depending on how much editing I get done today, new classes in there with the new section. I'll also be releasing a bunch of new recipes in the kitchen tomorrow. So we'll talk all about that tomorrow in the private Facebook group for X members, and that's going to be at 12 noon Eastern time. So we'll take any kind of like program design questions, but it's really going to be focused around doing yoga, which classes are optimal for specific issues and scheduling and strength training and same day yoga, different scheduling splits. For those of you who might still be doing the 90-day dash, those of you might be finishing the 90-day dash, those of you that are doing stuff from the program vault or from the workout archive, we'll talk about that tomorrow. So you're welcome, Shane. Thank you for Swolenormous X. The yoga has been a game changer for me, more mobile each day after years of powerlifting. Thank you so much for all you've put together for all of us, fam. Dude, it's my pleasure. I love hearing it from someone, from a dude who's like been a classic powerlifter that sees all the benefits, because just getting those comments here on the live cast, other people are going to see them and be like, man, if that guy used to lift weights, go fucking heavy all the time, and he feels great, maybe I'll feel great too. I love anyone getting into yoga, anyone, whether you're male or female, but I especially love it when dudes get into it, because there's a bias. I think we all agree there's a bias in society against, guys doing yoga. It's much less now than it ever has been. But it's great to hear like dudes like, dude, I fucking did yoga, because I was the same way. I never did yoga. And then years ago when I did my first class, I'm like, what the fuck have I been doing? Why have I never done this before? How did I never do this? And then I just got hooked. Thoughts on proper breathing for barbell squatting? Deep breath in, boom, bang out your squat. Some people like to breathe every single rep. I think it depends on your pace. What do you recommend on trying to lose a stomach? Elimination diet, strength training, yoga, and meditation. Proper sleep, proper nutrition. I always start observing, maybe keeping a journal of what you're doing, but elimination diet is recommended. That's what I would recommend in order to, get those wheels in motion for your nutrition. I recommend checking out. I did a YouTube video today. Did you guys like that YouTube video today on elimination diet and dieting? So obviously we got the nuts on chin, we got the drive while gaining, got the Ask Papa Swolio, but there's also going to be these videos that I want to do just like straight up vlog style. There's just topics that I want to talk about for a little bit. So that was one of them today, and I got great feedback. And this is just literally just things that come up oftentimes that need a little bit more of a long form discussion than just like a minute or a quick answer on Ask Papa Swolio. So there's a brand new video on my YouTube channel, so I would check that out. Light weights to build muscle. Thoughts? Depends. Time under tension. Is it a drop set? Are you only lifting light weights? What do you mean by lightweight? What body part? How many reps? What's your frequency? What's your rest period? How many calories are you consuming? Many options, many variables. Ruthless consistency with the elimination diet and exercise. In the last year, I'm down 20 pounds and 2 inches off my waist. Takes longer for those of us 40 plus. It can. I think it's not just 40 plus. I think it just takes longer when you have that many more years of doing things differently, right? If you're 40, that means for 40 fucking years, you either haven't been working out, you haven't been focusing on your nutrition, you haven't been doing anything. You've just literally been just putting any kind of waste inside your body and just eating fucking whatever. Like, what do you think's going to happen? How easily do you think it will come off at 40? Sure, you're older and your metabolism can slow down, but I'm 36, or I will be like in a couple. What month is it? It's May. It's gonna be May. May, June, 3 months? I'm 35 for a little bit longer. So, we'll see. We shall see. Thanks, I've been cutting out a lot, walking and all, just find a good workout on my stomach. Nah, it's not, you could do all the crunches and sit-ups and planks that you want. It's not going to get rid of belly fat. You can't spot reduce fat, Chris. You need to lift weights. Don't just walk around. Start lifting weights. Look into my content. Watch that video about the elimination diet and just fucking stop. Just cut out the shit. Start training, start lifting. It'll happen. And it's not going to happen in a couple months. Like, it might take years, but you need to start. Bottom line, you have to start. Don't worry about all those things. People get so wrapped up in details before they even get started. It's like, just fucking start and figure it out along the way. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. Dodie, I am making progress on getting my husband into yoga. He's finally going to try it. Good shit. Birthday Swole. Well, not even close. May, June, July. May, June, July. I guess it's 3 months. All right, so almost. Coming up on it, I suppose. I don't celebrate my birthday. I don't care about birthdays. I think it's kind of weird. Should I focus on nutrition more than cardio? Nutrition is always more important than cardio, but in terms of what? What does that mean? Recently found your channel. I love you. Thanks, man. Elimination is the best way to find out how your body responds. Agreed. In the video, that's literally what I talk about. If you want to be a vegan, carnivore, this and the other, fine. But at the beginning, think about your nutrition as a tree. There's the trunk and there's the roots. What do you have at the bottom? What's your intent? What are you trying to look for? How are you trying to approach your nutrition, your life? And then as you grow and as you get consistent, you figure out what foods and how your body reacts. You get your sleep, your hydration, your training, everything together. Then you can branch off. Then you can go, if you wanted to do vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian or carnivore or paleo or keto, it's like everyone can do the elimination. Everyone can figure out which foods work best. If you start with any kind of bias towards any one thing, you don't really know, you don't really find out what is actually working best for your body. If you find that out, then you can decide, oh shit, I really love having more fat in my diet. So maybe you do paleo or keto. Oh, I just really, even with 100% grass-fed beef and this, I just don't feel good when I eat meat as much as fish. Then boom, you can try pescatarian and see if you like that. If you stick to something that's real food and it'll help you manage your calories because you're eating real food and your body will tell you when it's full, you won't have to micromanage, you'll be less stressed, you have your nutrition, you have your hydration, you have your training in order, and then you can fine tune and tweak. You know, it'll solve a lot of issues if people just approach their nutrition from a different standpoint. But everyone likes to say this way is best. Do it this way. Okay. Even on my video today, you have some fucking vegan dumb fucks in the comments. You're ignoring all the research. It's easy. You're just trying to get attention and build an audience. Like, of course I'm doing it for attention and for an audience, but I'm also giving straight fucking common sense. And that's what most people forget. People forget the fucking common sense because when you get militant about sentient beings and fucking stuff. Are you serious? Do you forget that human beings were animals too? We are animals. Stop having such an ego. Just because we have a brain and we have a different level of consciousness doesn't mean we're not animals. Doesn't mean we didn't go through evolution and we can eat animals. Again, like I always say, too many Disney movies, man. Instagram's going to shut down, so I'll see you all later. IG, I'm not going to restart it. Peace out. Those of you that are interested in learning more about Swolenormous X and everything, go check out swolenormousx.com. All the details are over there. Reminder to Swolenormous X members, we have a masterclass tomorrow on mobility, yoga, and Swolga. Brand new section, tons of recipes coming tomorrow. A lot of stuff releasing in tomorrow's masterclass. That's tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. So that'll be live in the private Facebook group for X members. And if you can't catch it live, of course, it's going to be in the masterclass section on Swolenormous X, and it will also be staying on the timeline so you can catch it later. But make sure you do your best to get there, at least jump in and say hi. Lots of new releases tomorrow, so I'm going to get to work so I can go do all that stuff. All right, because we got a big masterclass tomorrow. And aside from that, follow me everywhere. Check out my Instagram. Check out my IG stories. Make sure you follow me and stay up to date. You could ask questions there when I post in my stickers and my stories. Doing a lot of posties today. And dropped a new video on macros earlier this morning. So make sure you go check that out. And check out that YouTube video if you have not yet already on the elimination diet. So thank you so much for being here for episode 1090 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1091 of the Sleaze. Peace, McGeese, Deuce, Magoose, your boy Papa Swolio. Out.